So we're often asked, how long is this whole process going to take? And the key factor here is, do you want to be fully compensated? Because we can speed things up. We can get a case done very quickly, but you're not going to be pleased with the outcome. One of the simplest ways to think about how long a case is going to take, I think of it as sort of an axis of an X and Y. Like, how much is your case worth and how long are you willing to wait for that? Essentially, if you want full compensation, you're going to need to wait a little bit longer. To do it right and to get you fully and fairly compensated, it's going to take a certain amount of time, and that's because there are certain variables that cannot be sped up. The most important of which is your recovery. It's going to take time for your body to heal. So the road to recovery is very important to respect. That is the key to you getting fully compensated. And there are many cases where that is going to take a significant amount of time. There are other variables that can delay a case but don't need to. And that's where you need a good attorney. Because the health insurance can play games. The hospital can play games with billing. Other medical providers, ambulance companies. And so you can find yourself in a situation where there's an unnecessary chunk of time that's caused a delay in the case because you didn't have the right attorney who was on top of those things. There's a whole behind the scenes management of the variables in every case. And you need a good team on your side to keep on top of those things, to eliminate any delays that are unnecessary delays. And then of course you have the insurance company who you are seeking a recovery from. And they love to play games. There's an old saying, justice delayed is justice denied. That's because the insurance companies want to hold on to that money as long as they can. They want to pay you as little as possible. And so generally speaking, the insurance company doesn't mind delays. They welcome delays. So once your case has reached a point where you feel like you've made a full recovery, then you're at a point where you want to start speeding things up. You want to start knocking out delays. You want to start submitting that case to the insurance company. The insurance company might have made an offer on your case that is in the right ballpark. And perhaps some negotiation is going to get that case resolved. There are other times where the insurance company is making an offer that bears no relationship to the value of your injuries. Happens a lot. And at that point, we're talking to you about the next steps, and those steps are going to take additional time. At every stage of the process, you should be involved. Your attorney should be talking to you about these different chapters in your case. If your case has to be filed, litigation takes a long time. There are several stages to litigation. Typically, from the filing of a lawsuit to a resolution of that case, minimum of 6 months, it can be longer. When you're thinking about how long your case is going to take, keep in mind that there's some attorneys out there that for them this is sort of an assembly line, and you are just sort of a widget that they're running across the factory floor. And they are not going to necessarily go that extra mile or spend that extra time on your claim. They're going to go for the low-hanging fruit. They're going to go for the easy dollars. And they're going to call you essentially and say, you know, we think we've got your case done. We just need to set up a time for you to come in. They might talk to you about the value that they've obtained, and they might try to sell you on that value as to why it's a good number. But listen to yourself. If it doesn't sound like a good number, ask questions. We don't believe that's the way to do things. We want a client to walk out of our doors at the end of a case pleased with our representation, pleased with the recovery they obtained, and with no lingering issues, with a case that's completely closed.